mind movies work honestly? Hi, I'm Amanda Vandergulik from CleverDoughKids.com, and today I'm going to answer for you whether or not mind movies actually work. Are you ready for it? They do. But I'm going to share with you why they work, and I'm going to give you 3 ways of how you can make a mind movie with PowerPoint, your phone, and the mind movie software. Yes, mind movies actually do work, honestly. And the reason they work is because they help you filter your mind to focus on what you want to achieve and therefore put a block around all of the obstacles that would otherwise always get in the way. Now, we do that with a vision board as well, but with a mind movie, you're taking it a step further. With a vision board, you get to see it on a daily basis, but can you see how the photos are kind of half covered, half there? And our mind also knows that it's a picture. It's not, we're not in there. But when we watch a movie or a digital vision board, it's like we get to step right into the world of our dreams. And that helps bring up all of these feelings of what it actually feels like to live this new dream world that you've created. And today I'm going to share with you 3 different ways that you can make your own mind movie work the best for your subconscious mind. Now, if you're excited, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, then welcome. If you like to have a healthy, wealthy mindset, then make sure you click subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you'll know the minute my next video comes out. This is week 4 of the Setting Goals and Achieving Them challenge. If you missed any of the other videos in the challenge, then go to this playlist right now and watch that before watching this video. Now, if you've already gone through those videos, then welcome back and let's get started. All right, as a quick recap, in week 1 of the challenge, we set our goals, we learned how to set them, but more importantly, we learned how to prioritize them using the Goalometer. If you haven't had a chance to download the Goal Setting for Families workbook, then do that now. Inside of it is the tool, the Goalometer, that will help you measure your goals so that you'll know which goals to go after first. Again, the key here is the more excited you are about your goal, the more likely you are to achieve it. And by prioritizing and figuring out which goal means the most to us and then achieving that, you are more likely to achieve all of your goals. In week 2 of the challenge, we talked about affirmations, how the power of words affects our minds. An example here is if we want to lose weight this year, which is a very common goal. I know I could trim up a little bit. If we want to lose weight, by using the words lose, we are asking the universe to send us anything that's going to find what we've lost. We don't want to find more weight. And we go more into how all of that works and what you would do to change the words. So make sure you check out that video first. And last week, in week 3 of the challenge, we made our vision board, which was incredibly exciting. I took you through using my old vision board and updating it to this new vision board that has made me so happy to look at all week long. And I shared with you what was actually working well on the old vision board, but more importantly, what was working totally against my subconscious mind and working negatively, subliminally in my mind and blocking me from achieving my goals. So make sure if you haven't that you check that video out now so that you don't make the same mistake. And this week we're going to take our vision board and transform it and turn it into a movie digital vision board so that you can actually step right into your goals and dream life. Plus, I also shared a very personal story of how it took me 23 years to find my childhood best friend who had disappeared one day in gym class when I was in grade 6, and how I used the law of attraction to almost instantly, literally within 2 days, find her. And I also shared a very special technique that I used personally to find my mental blocks that were stopping me from achieving my goals, and how you could do the same thing and then transforming those negative blocks and turning them into positive affirmations to start reprogramming your mind. All right, so first of all, you need to decide What kind of mind movie did you want to make for yourself? Did you want a mind movie for wealth? Did you want a mind movie for health? Or did you want a mind movie for love, for bettering your relationships with your partner, with your spouse, with your children, with your parents? Or would you like to have a mind movie for just total abundance in all areas of your life? And it doesn't matter which one you choose, but you just want to have a focus of what you're intending to create when you make this. In my case, I'm taking my whole entire vision board and putting it into the mind movie. And I'm going to show you how we do that. Oh, and before I forget, I actually have a special quiz for you that will help you find your own money blocks or abundance blocks, health blocks, and figure out what they are. It's a 30-second quiz that my friend Natalie Ledwell created for us. And I've got the link down there in the description below so that you know what you're starting with. Okay, so here we go. First of all, I want you to go and get your goalometer sheet, and I want you to see what goals you really want to focus on first. The second thing you're going to do is create a special folder on your computer where you're going to take all of the photos that you used for your vision board, and we're going to pop the digital version of those videos in that folder. And you're going to want to have it all in one easy place to access so you're not having to scroll through all kinds of files to find them. So make sure that you have your goalometer and make sure that you have all of those photos first in a folder. The next thing that you're going to want to do is open up a Word document or a text file, and I want you to write down all of those blocks that we went through, and I want you to write down all of your goals as well, and write them all with a very positive present tense affirmation to go with each picture, because we want to reprogram our mind and use as many tools as possible. All right, and once you have that done, I want you to choose some really fun, upbeat, positive present tense word music. I want you to find a song that really gets you going, but be very mindful of the words in there, because some songs seem like they're really great until you hear the words and you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea this is what they were talking about. So choose your favorite song that gets you inspired. You know, the one that you put on to clean your house, right? The one that gets you motivated to just get going, or the one that you love to play when you're in the car and driving. You just want to get that long journey and pump it up and make it fun. So grab your favorite song, play it to yourself, really pay attention to the words that are in there. Make sure it's got an upbeat, quick pace, because you want to really get those emotions soaring. We want to use every single emotion and sense that we have. We want to see things, we want to hear things, we want to feel things, we want to imagine that we're tasting and smelling. We want to feel every part of our senses possible to really make our mind movie real, and as if we are, again, stepping inside our dream world. Guess what? You are now ready to create your own digital moving vision board. Are you excited? You have every tool you need. You have your affirmations, you have your photos, and you have your music. Now we want to create a mind movie. And there are, again, 3 ways: with your phone, with a PowerPoint presentation, or with the mind movie software. And I'm going to quickly walk you through all 3. All right, so the first way is to use your phone. Take your vision board, take your phone, and press record on your video software and zoom up in close to each picture, trying to give yourself enough time to really digest the information that your mind is seeing from each picture and each affirmation that is written on your vision board. But do this while also playing the song. So have the music going, and then zoom in and record every part of your vision board. When the song ends, stop recording, and you have a movie vision board. You have a digital vision board or a mind movie. I am standing right now, and it's actually really hard for me to stand. So I apologize, my voice gets a little bit raspy. If you're interested in why it's hard for me to stand, you can actually take a look at what happened to me when I was in a coma, what it was like. I had some pretty crazy dreams going on, and how it's affected me since then. But moving back to mind movies, yeah, so you can definitely make a mind movie on your phone. Do you like my little Lego case? So yes, using your phone is probably going to be the quickest way to make a mind movie, but is it the most effective way? It doesn't use some of the subliminal tricks that I'm going to share with you in just a little bit. All right, so now the second question, how do you make a mind movie with PowerPoint?
All right, so I've got my PowerPoint open here. This is on a PC computer. If you're on a Mac, I'm not sure what the equivalent is, but I'm sure you have some sort of PowerPoint capability. And what you want to do is start a new PowerPoint. And every time you start a new PowerPoint, it's got these boxes here that you can add text to. I'm going to actually just delete this one, and we're going to keep this one, but we're going to just move it to about there. All right, and I'm going to just save this. And what we're going to do is add a picture. So I'm going to take this one, and this is my picture of me dancing on stage. All right, let's move that over, and I'm going to send it to the back so that my text is on top. Move this over. I want it to fill the page, which means it's going to be a little bit distorted, but that's all right. You could also simply go beyond the page if you don't want to distort the picture. That will work as well. And then when you actually see the preview, which is up here, if we want to do the preview, ta-da, then we just see what we want to see there. All right, so we're going to add text here. I love performing on stage. Or actually, let me first just change the color. So we'll go back to home, and we want this to pop above, so we're going to make it white, and we're going to make it bold. I love, and I like having capitals, love dancing and singing in lead roles on stage. All right, and we're going to make this fit across there. And let's see here, I'm just going to put this down there. Okay, so now, and here's the bottom of the page there, I'm just going to move this a little bit lower there. And if I wanted to, I could also make the back of this a little bit darker. So let me just see here. So, drawing tools, I want the fill to actually be like a gray. Let's see here, a dark gray, something like that, just so that it pops on top so that I can read it. All right, and then we'll go back to home, and we're going to do a new slide. Now, what I can do to make this easier is simply click on this, press copy, press paste, and I've got a duplicate. Now, all I need to do is delete the photo, insert a new photo. Actually, let me undo that and show you something else. You can actually right-click on it and say Change Photo, and then you can just put your next picture in instead. And see, it already fills it, nice and easy peasy. And then I would change this and say, I love, or I am healthy and strong. I like putting exclamation marks as well because it just adds emotion, positive emotion. And I'm just going to make this a tiny bit longer so it fits the page better there. See how the white is down here? I want it to fit. So same with this one. I'm just going to make this go beyond. And now when I go to have a look at the slideshow, so there's my first slide, there is my second slide, all right? And so you're going to just do the same thing again. Copy, paste. Remember to press save often so that you're not going to lose your work. And again, we're just simply going to change the picture, add in the next picture. So let me find another picture here. Here's one. And this one doesn't quite fit the page yet. I want to have it fit, so I'm just going to pull it so it's bigger than the picture. And in this case, I had a text, but I'm going to just copy that and move that down there. So it's on top of that. And this one I'm going to change to, I love having guests over. And then this is my guest room. All right. And then if we do a preview, we've got the first one, the second one, and the third one. See what I'm doing here? So now this one doesn't quite match. So anyway, you'd tidy that up. And after you've gone through and put all of your vision board photos in here with your positive present tense text, then what you would want to do is record it. And in PowerPoint, if you have a program called Camtasia, you can actually record it. Now, it's not showing it to me right now because I am literally recording this, so it's already doing it. And then what you would do is you would press record, you would go to view, do slideshow, and then you would just hit the forward button or click on your mouse until you slowly go through. And what you'd want to do is have your computer running your music at the same time. So that is another way that you can do it. And if you didn't have the program like Camtasia, you could hold your phone and record the screen while you went through the PowerPoint presentation. So where there's a will, there is a way. Again, you're not really taking advantage of all the neuro-linguistic programming that you could be, but if you have nothing else and you have this, then do this. Okay, so let's move on back.
And the third way is to use the Mind Movie software or the Mind Movie app that you could put on your phone, because it is so much faster and they have additional ways to really use the subliminal mind to create our future, to achieve our goals. So in just a moment, I'm going to take you inside the program and show you exactly how it works and what tricks I suggest you use to really get the most out of it. But first, I want to remind you, because I totally forgot to mention this in the last two videos, but we are running a challenge. And this is a 4-week challenge. So this is the last week of the challenge. And all you have to do to win the challenge is give each video a like, make sure that you have subscribed and hit that notification bell, share any of these videos that you feel would really help empower someone special in your life, and leave me a comment letting me know what is your biggest goal that you totally intend on achieving this year. What do you win? One winner will be selected and they will win my Teaching Children About Money Home Study course. It's a 12-month course and it retails for over $1,200, but you can get it for free when you win the challenge. It is actually not for sale anywhere on my site at the present, and I'm considering opening it again later this year, but for right now, the only way to get it is to be in this challenge and be the winner. You can find all of the rules for the challenge in the description below. Okay, so we're about to go into the Mind Movie software so I can show you how it works and how you can make sure it works the best for you. But before I do, I have a couple of tips that I want you to really think about to make the most out of this. So first, I want you to make absolute sure that all of your affirmations are written in the positive present tense. It is so important that you're not talking about what I will have, being that it's in the future, because then your goals will continue to stay in the future and not be in your reality right now, and not to be in the past, because then it's already gone and it's no longer in your present life. You want to stay in the present moment. I am abundance. I am wealthy. Not I will be or I have been. So you get what I mean? And you want to make sure that it's positive words, because the brain will hear the words. So for a really good example is stop smoking. That's like a double negative. So first of all, yes, I know in school they taught us that 2 negatives make a positive. Yeah, our brain doesn't work that way. So what happens is, first of all, we hear smoking. So our brains go, right, we got to keep smoking. No, I want to stop smoking. And it's like, right, you want to smoke, keep smoking. And it's not what we want, all right? And the word stop is a very negative, aggressive word. And it is also not a positive, flowing, free-flowing, and abundant word. Another one is what I mentioned before, lose weight. Weight, we're thinking about weight instead of being slim, being trim, being healthy, being strong. And lose, oh my goodness, I better go find what I lost. I want to lose 15 pounds. Okay, let me go help you find 15 pounds. So you got to be really careful. Again, I talk more about this in the video on affirmations, but I wanted to just remind you about that before we get started. Oh, and it can sometimes get a little tricky too, because we think like effortless or debt-free, and we think those are great words and the feelings are great. But think about the words effortless. So it's taking effort and less. But and debt-free. So debt, yeah, free is good. Debt is not good. So instead, why not easy? Smoothly instead of effortless. Same meaning, more positive words. Debt-free, in the black, financially free. Do you see what I mean? So you want to change the words so that you're using positive words. You got this. Okay, so the next thing you really want to be certain of is all those photos that you chose for your vision board. Make sure that the majority have your face in them or someone that is similar looking to you, so that every time you're looking at your mind movie or even your vision board, your brain is thinking, yeah, that's me. If it's somebody who looks completely different or is a different gender or a different nationality or a different culture, your brain's going to go, oh, that's really nice for that person that they got this new car. But it's not going to think, wow, that's my car. And a trick that you can do that I've done on a couple of these photos here is I've actually put my face on someone else's face. It looks kind of crazy up close, but your mind is like, yeah, that's me. So make sure the majority of the photos on your vision board and in your mind movie are you or someone who looks very similar to you. Very important. And in the background of the photos, make sure you don't have a grumpy face in there, or maybe there's something negative happening. Maybe, I don't know, a tree is falling down. You don't want anything that's subconsciously going to work against you. So just really take a look at your photos and make sure they're working for you, that they are showcasing exactly what you want to have in your life. All right, so are you ready? I'm going to teach you one of the subliminal tricks that we actually can do with the My Movie software really easily, and that is kind of difficult to do with our phones and with PowerPoint presentation in quite the same effective way. You could do it, but it won't be quite as effective. And that is that with all of our photos, I want to take this phone as my example. If one of your goals was to have an iPhone with a Lego cover on it, then you don't want your photo to be up here and pull away from you. Do you see what that's doing? Right? It's going away. Like, give me back, right? What we want to do is make sure that whatever the photo is, it's coming toward you. It's coming into your life. You can grab it, okay? So that's important. We want to make sure that all of the photos and images, they can be swirling around, they could be dancing, but we want to make sure that they, at some level, are coming toward you. You are achieving these goals, and that they're not pulling away from you and getting out of your grasp. All right? When you're double checking your photos, also really make sure that the feeling of the photos is really positive, that the colors feel right for you, that everything in the photo really resonates with what you want to live now. And last reminder, make sure that that music that you choose is uplifting and positive. There are two things in life that really motivate us into action in any way, shape, or form. We want to make sure that we have the positive action in place to make the positive changes that we want for ourselves. So those two things are fear and pleasure. And fear does not always help us really achieve what we want in our lives. Yes, fear can motivate you. The fear of losing your home, losing your job, or the fear of being hit by a car will motivate you to move faster, but it causes a lot of negative chemicals to go on in your body, and that can have a negative effect on your health and on your mind. So we want to use the second one, which is pleasure. And pleasure is what can motivate and inspire you. So you want to make sure that the music that you choose really just gets those juices flowing and makes you so excited and on fire.
All right, now this is incredibly exciting. So here we are on my laptop, and this is the My Movies login page. When you come to this page, then this video plays, which is like a little welcome. And what we want to do is we want to go and sign in. And I'll just sign in. All right, and then we're going to have a look. So you can see that I've created lots of My Movies over the years. I've created one, though, that we're going to work on today, which is my Abundance My Movie for 2020. This is the Healthy Wealth Mentality My Movie that I put on my channel a couple of weeks ago for you, and I'll put a link to that in the description below so that you can see that. That one is specifically focused on financial abundance. So make sure you watch that daily to make sure your head is financially abundant. All right, this one is my Abundance My Movie for 2020. It's my personal one that I've updated. As you can see in the other page there, I had one for 2019. So I've taken that and I've updated them. So this is what it looks like when you come into the My Movie software. So down here is your timeline. This is where you're going to be putting all of your videos. Now when you first come in here, it's just going to have black. These are not going to be filled in yet because you won't have chosen the photos that you want to add. And how it works is for each photo, which you can drag up here from the library, you can choose a photo and you can click on it and see the large photo so that you don't have to put on glasses to see what you're looking at. And then you would choose it and you would pop it where you want it to go. But because I already have the photos I want, I'm not going to change that. Okay, so these are the photos that are in the library that Mind Movie offer you. And they're all in these different categories. So you've got audacious goals, business, cars, charity, friends and family, happy or gratitude focused ones. There's healthy health and weight loss, or your apartment, your house, your lifestyle, miscellaneous. And if you scroll down, there's a couple more: spirituality, sports, travel, wealth and money. So if we clicked on wealth and money, which is where I got a lot of the videos or a lot of the photos for the other My Movie I made for you, you can find them in here. And then in each category, you can see that there are multiple pages of photos to choose from. And again, if you want to take a closer look at one of them, you would just open it up and then you would see the photo up close. But the really cool thing is, so at the top here, you can see that you have pictures, but you also have videos. And actually, in the Wealth My Movie that I created for you, I used videos and I chose material possessions, health, places, and I used those. And how they work is, let me find one here. So this one is the cover of my Wealth Abundance Mentality Mind Movie that I created for you. And see how it's moving, which is awesome. That's one of the subliminal tricks that is really great to use. If you have video footage that represents your goals, you want to use that. If you don't, photos are perfectly fine because the system is going to actually move it for you, which is really cool. And I'll show you that in a moment. So you can choose from the Mind Movies library of videos or of pictures. You can also insert your own. So if you had a video, you would actually upload it to your own YouTube channel. Just keep it private and then upload it in here. Pictures, on the other hand, your own library, you actually just head over here to more actions and you would upload your own photos and choose your files. Or you could import them from Facebook as well. So they've got a lot of options in here to make it easy for you. So here's some photos that I have of us from over the years. But the nice thing is you can also create folders. So I've created one here for Abundance for 2020. And we're going to use these photos to create my Mind Movie today. And I've got 3 tabs of photos here that you can have a look at. And I've already popped them into my timeline. So you can see down here that it goes all the way across. Sorry, I know that's very fast. But it goes all the way across. And this is what it looks like. If it were a new Mind Movie that you were creating, you would just see this black box that says drag clip in. And that's literally what you would do. Drag and drop. And there it is. And then it creates a new one. Now, because I'm not actually going to use that, I will delete, which shows you how easy it is to delete them as well. In between each of these photos is what's called a transition. So up here, pictures, videos, and then we've got affirmations. So remember when we went over our goals and we created affirmations to represent each of our goals? So say that your goal was to fly first class. This would be an affirmation that you could use. And you could just take an affirmation from up here. They've got, again, audacious goals, business, contribution, family and friends, health, material possessions, personal wealth or money, relationships, spirituality. Let's take one from spirituality. And actually, let me just grab, just to show you how we would do it from fresh. Let's choose relationships. And let's choose this cute little, the 2 feet together, which is lovely. And now we're going to choose our affirmation. And we're going to do relationships. And we adore each other. So we're going to pop that onto there. So now what it's done is it's actually created, if we click on that T, We adore each other. Now, I like to go in and capitalize each. I find that it helps your brain just really focus on the words as the images are flying past. And you can see down here that it actually gives you different ways for it to come in. So this one is called Glow and Burn, and see how it's like glowing them into the picture. You can change that to all different kinds of spiral, and then see how it spirals out. Or you could do a 3D and then see how it goes 3D depth like that. Or a blur, and then it will just blur away. So all those kind of things, you can choose what you want. I tend to first let the system just choose because it will randomize. And then if I notice that there's one that is not working subliminally how I want it to, like I said, I'm really hoping to have everything move forward and toward you. And so you can always change that right here. Like here's Bubbles. That one's kind of cute. Bloop, 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 bloop. All right. And then you can also position where in the picture it would be. So right now it's at the bottom. So it's at the bottom of it. But if I change that, you could have the text right in the center. You could have it at the top. So I'll explain that when we look at the preview, and I'll show you what I mean by where they're placed. You can also change how long you want each picture to stay on the screen, and how long you want the text of each picture to stay on the screen. And of course you can change the font and the size and bold in, underline and italicize. I couldn't think of that word. So yeah, we're going to just save this as is. Sorry. And in between this last photo and this new one, it has automatically chosen this transition. So you know when you go from one photo to the next in a movie, there's like a transition, a cut or a glow or something, and you can do that up here under transitions. And they show you what they look like. So they've got fade transitions, motion transitions, and shapes. I like the fades and the motions best. I find the shapes are a little bit, well, chaotic, as it's called right here. But that's how it would transition between. That one's actually kind of nice how it kind of pops into picture. So this is how it goes from one picture to the next. So in this scenario, one picture is the parrot. The next picture happens to be a gray picture. But it's showing you how it transitions between the two pictures. So I like to use motion. And so here's a couple of different ones. I like this sparkle one. It gives a bit of a magical effect. Or zoom, where you're really letting it zoom into your brain. I love that. And here are some fades. You can blur into the next one, or you can flame into it, which is a fun one as well. Although again, you want to be careful with flames because it can represent burning. So maybe not for a mind movie. Shimmer is nice. Again, beautiful, magical. So you go through and choose the ones that are going to work best for you. But to keep everything simple, I'm actually just letting the program randomly select. And as I previewed, if there were any that blatantly popped out at me as not perhaps working for my best intention, I changed those. But you can see how they're just all randomly selected there. So again, I'm going to delete this one because I wanted to show you the one that I've created here. But the other thing that we really want to add, so again, remember I said we want to make sure that the photos go towards us and not away from us, so that we're receiving our goals rather than pushing them away. We also want to make sure we have positive music in the background. And the beautiful thing is you can upload your favorite song. Here are a couple of songs that I have uploaded over time. So you would just upload your own music. You can add a subliminal audio, which is awesome. So I am going to add, let's have a look here. Achieve ultimate success. Create a wealthy mindset. Financial abundance. Okay, so these subliminal audios, they're spoken and they're played at a low, nearly inaudible level for the duration of the mind movie. So it might be a small hum or something like that, but it's going to implant into your subconscious mind. So I want to add one of these, and let's have a look here. I am going to choose financial abundance or achieve ultimate success. You know what? I'm going to go with ultimate success because, as you'll see in a moment, my mind movie actually encompasses my whole life areas, relationship, health, wealth, travel, generosity, charity. I got everything in there, and so I want it to be an overall. All right, so I've added that in there, and I've chosen actually the music that I chose. I'll show you it. There's all different kinds of styles, and you can preview them. So you can get more details on the artist over there, but you could preview them. So if I click on this, then it should come up, and let me, there we go, preview the music. It's just uploading it. Which is very beautiful. But again, like I mentioned before, we want to make sure that the music is vibrant, upbeat, positive, has really specifically positive wording. And so there's one in particular I absolutely love. Now, there are tons in here that are beautiful, but there's one in particular I absolutely love, and Success Songs. And it is, let's see here, Millionaire Mind. I love this song. It just has everything that I want in it. Let me just fast forward. There's a key to the world, and it's mine, all mine. So yeah, it is absolutely beautiful, and it is 3 minutes, which is just the perfect length. So that is the one that I chose. So what I'm going to just quickly do is save this, since I added the subliminal, and I had not done that yet for you. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like. Go back to the beginning here. I just want to make sure, so you can customize the text. You can either click on here and customize it, or you can click on the T and it will bring up the same box for you. So again, you can change the transition, the length of time, where it will be pictured on your picture or positioned on your picture. You can change the length right here as well. So this is a great tip. This music, Millionaire Mind, actually has a couple of seconds of quiet at the end, and I didn't want photos playing at the end of my video in quiet. So what I did is I first matched up, because when you add music, then it will also, under preferences here, you can adjust the timeline to the music length. And I had done that. It's still set here, but I had done that. And then what I did is I actually went in, so you can see how it was set for 1.09 seconds per image, with the text being 1.13. And what I've done is I've come in here and I've adjusted them. So some are just 1, some are 1.1. Let it first do its own thing. That'll help you the quickest. And then preview it and see where it ends. And then you can always just add at the end here. I just literally made this one a little bit longer. I chose a couple of my favorite ones here, and I just made them a little bit longer. And that's how I kind of filled in the time, so that this one, these are just shorter. Here's one up here that I use because I really, really want to inspire the world like crazy. And so I've like added longer lengths to those. And then they will process. You won't actually notice that it's tremendously longer or shorter because it's just like a millisecond difference. But then you can time your music, which makes it great. So let me save this project first, just to make sure. And we're going to preview it. I want to show you what it looks like. You'll need to have Flash installed. If you don't, it will tell you, then you just install that. There, so you can see how most of my words are at the bottom of the pictures. Unless I specifically wanted it in the center, you can have that on top. So you're reading positive words, and things are flying towards you as if you are receiving them. Alright, and then I'm just going to zoom ahead. See how I put my head on that picture? And go to the very end. That one's nice. And then you can see here where I timed it so that it would actually fit. So this one is just longer for the music to fade away. So I did that on purpose. All right. And again, I always like to save. I'm like a save fanatic. Even when I'm working on like Google Docs, even though you don't have to save, I save because that's just what I do. And then what you do, so it's honestly that simple. You just pick the pictures you want, which you can either use My Movie Library, and they've got tons of photos here. They really do. I live out in a rural area, so my internet is fairly slow. Yours will go a lot faster, I promise you, unless, of course, you live in the rural area as well. But they've got tons of pictures, and each topic has multiple tabs of photos, and then you can just, zoom in and see, like, how does that make you feel? You really want to make sure all the photos make you feel vibrant and alive, and make sure the person, if you have a person in the picture, looks like you or resembles you, or even better, choose your own photos, upload them, and have your own pictures in there, okay? And this was one that I had done for a special charity. But yeah, I'm so excited about this one. I'm just so excited for you to see it. I will upload it once it's finished processing, and I'll let you know about that as well. So you choose your photo, your videos, your affirmations, which you can write yourself. Like I said, you could just go in there and type it if there wasn't one yet. So if it was a brand new tab and you didn't have the text in there, the T wouldn't be there, but you could then just customize text and do like text. All right, and then save, and now boom, text is in there, which of course I am going to delete, or else I'll have a black screen that simply says text. I don't want to do that. That is honestly how simple it is. So like I said, you can use your camera and film your vision board. It's not nearly as effective or emotionally stimulating. It doesn't trigger all of your senses like this does. You could try to do it with a PowerPoint presentation. You're not going to get the same kind of effect, or you're going to need to use a really difficult software program, or you just use the My Movie software, which is super affordable, and you have it for life. And then you can just upgrade, change. You've got tons of music to choose from. You can change your own preferences. You can even add, your subliminal, which is amazing, and create playlists. Like there's so much in here. You're going to love it. And so let's just go ahead and process this. We are going to send to the process. Now you can, to the processor, you can have it so that it shares it instantly to YouTube. I don't like to do that. I like to first process, make sure it's done the way I want it done, and then I upload it to YouTube if it's one that I want to share. So if you don't want to upload it to YouTube, don't worry, you don't have to. Just don't tick that, and then send to processor, and then you can either create a new movie, or you can go to your movie page with all your, like I said here, all the different ones that you've created. So there's the one I did last year. I've taken that and I updated it for this year. You can see that this one is processing. This one has processed. This one is not processed. This is one that I was working on last year, but then I changed my mind and did a different one. And then once it is processed, so for example, if I were to click on this one, so this one is already processed, so you can play it right here. Right? This is the one that I created for you. That's on my channel, so you can watch that. Again, I apologize, my internet's a little slow. You can download that, download the video. You can Windows video download. You can share your My Movie on YouTube, or you can email it to a friend. So there's lots of options, and then you can create a new video here. And that's it. And the really cool thing is that if you're wondering, okay, well, how do I do this? I'm going to forget this. I'm going to forget that. You can, of course, look back to this video. But if you have a look here, Natalie has put together.
And welcome to the My Movies Dream Crystallization.
Isn't she lovely? I absolutely adore Natalie. She's one of my favorite women in the whole entire world. We've been friends since 2007. She's just awesome. And she's actually got a script writing process workbook that you download for free. It's just a PDF. And she's going to walk you through remember what I was talking about, the be, the do, the have, to make sure you're covering everything and make sure you're wording everything correctly. Then, so you've got that as well. So yeah, you can create a video, you've got your videos, and there are more video tutorials. So if you have a specific problem.
Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate just how easy it is for you to create your very own My Movie.
There, and so you can go in here and you can actually, there's a My Movies demo, there's a search for photos, how to add subliminal, all these things that you're going to come across and go, oh, how did you do that again? You can look into here and find your answer. So they really got everything sorted, and it's first class. It's honestly first class. It's the best and the only software I've ever found and loved. So I wanted to share that with you because it is so exciting.
Pretty cool, right? So what I'll do is I'll upload my movie as soon as it finished processing so that you have something to use as a template when you create yours. Okay, so now that we've made the My Movie, I want to share some tips with you of how to make your My Movie even more effective to make sure that your goals show up as fast as possible. What I want you to do is watch your My Movie every morning when you first get up. This will help set your day, train your mind to start looking for all the opportunities that will help you achieve those goals. And it'll feel really great, so you're going to start each day feeling really great and excited. Then what I want you to do is before you go to sleep at night, before you close your eyes, I want you to watch your Mind Movie again, so it's the last thing in your mind before you fall asleep. This is a really cool technique. Whatever we put into our minds before we fall asleep has a really good chance of going into our dreams, and when we're sleeping is when our brains actually take all the information from the day and piece it together and file it and organize it and make it make sense for us. And so what happens is whatever we're focusing on last tends to then really be amplified. It's really cool. I noticed this when I was a teenager. I would often have problems with different math equations or different problems that I had to solve with my homework. And sometimes I would get so frustrated and just be like, oh, I'm just going to go to sleep. I'm not even going to worry about it. And then I noticed that quite often if I was doing homework right before going to bed and I wasn't able to solve a problem, I would wake up going, oh my gosh, I know how to fix that, because it was the last thing in my mind. My brain just kept on processing it overnight, and I actually came up with a solution in my dreams. Now this happened to me a couple of times before I started to notice, and I was shocked. I thought, wow, I wonder if this would work if I did it on purpose. So at the time I took up a project of knitting a scarf, but I wanted to learn how to purl stitch. And I didn't have anybody to show me at that time. My mom knew how to purl stitch, but she was busy with something. And so my brain was like, but I can figure this out. I can figure this out. And I knew the normal stitch, and I wanted to purl stitch. And so this was really on my mind. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try this sleep technique. So before I went to sleep that night, I focused on my mind what it was like to stitch a normal stitch, and what the end result would look like when it was a purl stitch, because I wanted to do a normal stitch, purl stitch, so I would get the nice ribs that you get when you're creating a scarf. And so I went to sleep focused on figuring out the solution. And I woke up the next morning and it was like, of course, you reverse where you put the thread on the needle. And I tried it and it worked. And I was like, wow. So then of course I ran to my mom and I said, is this a purl stitch? And she said, yeah, that's how you do it. And so I did it on purpose, and it actually gave me the solution. So that was exciting. So as I've gotten older, now I don't just try to use this technique for solving my homework problems or learning a new knitting technique, but I've learned that this works with a lot of things. So my gratitude journal, I will write down what my future life looks like in my journal, get my brain set, which again, we talked about in this video here. And I want you to do the same with your mind movies. Watch it at night, especially because, as I mentioned with the mind movie, you're stepping now into your dreams. So it's really real, and you've got all your senses working for you, and that will help to imprint it, and you'll be dreaming of it. At first you may not notice, but it goes into your subconscious subliminal mind, and then you start noticing all the opportunities around you to make those things happen. It is amazing. So just try it. First thing in the morning, last thing at night. And the third tip is to use Subliminal Software that will play your mind movie on top of your screen really thinly. You can barely see it, but your subconscious mind sees it and it plays it all day long while you're working on the computer. It's really cool. Take a look.
All right, so now let me just quickly show you the subliminal software that I was talking about. So once your mind movie is created and you've downloaded it, let's see if it's processed yet. I don't think it is. No, it's still processing. It'll take a few minutes for them to process it, which is fine. They'll send you an email once it's done. And what we want to do is turn on what is called the My Movie Subliminal Software. This is a program where you set which folder your mind movie is in, and then you can actually change the opacity and the volume. So I'll turn it on and see how there are waves going across my screen. So while you're like working on a document here, see how you can see the mind movie playing. So the movie is playing while I work. Oops, or I work. And yes, my typing is atrocious. So, but that could be distracting, and I totally get that. For me, I actually love seeing my mind movie. It doesn't bother me. I'm able to filter it out consciously so that just my subconscious is really noticing it, with my conscious once in a while going, oh, there it is. But if you find that that would be way too distracting to work with, especially if you had the opacity set really high, right? Like way, way high. Yeah, it would be hard to even see what you're working on. So I like to have it set really, really soft. You can barely see it moving at all. Like there's the tiniest little faint. In this case, this happens to be a wave. You can see how there's just a little wave. This is a meditation that I've got playing. But it's not distracting. You can even have it more faded where you hardly see it at all. Where literally it is playing, but you see nothing. And so then you can type away, clearly spell a lot better than me, and it won't affect your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind still sees it. And if you don't believe that, fair enough, then you just give it the tiniest bit of opacity so that you can see the movement and you can know that it's there. And you can make that as strong or as light as you like. And you can also have the volume going. So there you can hear the music.
And appreciate your incredible capacity for abundance.
That would be Natalie. I have one of her meditations playing in the background here because she just inspires me so much. And yeah, so then while I'm working away, I would have her voice very, very, very subtly talking in the background. I don't even notice her anymore, but my subconscious mind is automatically filling in all those beautiful positive thoughts. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. It's part of her Subliminal Success Accelerator, I think it's called, and I highly recommend it. I've been using it for years. Absolutely, absolutely love it, and it's made a tremendous impact on my life in a very positive way.
Really cool, right? And I'm going to share one more tip with you, but first I have a quick favor. If you're enjoying this and you're finding it helpful, will you give me a like? And if you know somebody who could really use some inspiration and some help with achieving their goals this year, would you please share my video? I would appreciate that so much. Thank you. And I want to know, what is your biggest takeaway from today's training? Leave me a comment below and let me know. I answer back every single comment, and I look forward to hearing what your dream is, and maybe I can even rewrite it for you to make sure that it's working positively for your subconscious mind. Alright, so your next step is to make sure that you have downloaded the Law of Attraction PDF list of all the tools that I use to help make sure that my dreams come true, that I know you could use and get the same results with, and the Goal Setting for Families workbook, if you haven't already downloaded that, to make sure you prioritize your goals to ensure a better chance of success this year. And then your next step is to watch one of the pre-made mind movies that I put together for you. And if you haven't watched the previous videos in this Goal Setting and Achieving Them challenge, you can watch those down here in this playlist. And next week I will be sharing the winner of the Goal Setting and Achieving Them challenge. Okay, I'll see you over here or over here.